My word, I am very nervous about this one. I'm not kidding. I'm kind of, oh, I was just going to try and show my hand, showing, it feels like I have lots of energy, like before a fight or a horrible argument or after a fight or an argument. Okay, so if you do Hangouts where it's mainly just you talking like this, usually when you start the Hangout, you think, okay, I'm going to go over this. You don't really get nervous. Sometimes you might have a little flash of panic just before you go live, but you ride through it and you think, oh, that was exciting. That's usually what happens. This one today, I am literally a bit kind of anxious. Yeah, kind of a bit nervous. I've got my red hoodie for protection. Not really. It's because some Globelings have mentioned how much they miss my red hoodie in comments in previous videos. But the reason that I'm kind of nervous about this, and I mean this, okay, is that God spoke to me last night, and I don't want to paraphrase. I don't want to get things wrong. Okay, so before I tell you what God said, I'm going to I'm going to give some wrenches out. I see some people. Right. Okay. That's it. I don't want to paraphrase. I don't want to misspeak or misquote. So what God said to me last night was now, obviously, if you heard something like that, you'd be like me, a bit confused, like, what the heck does that mean? And I couldn't find what it meant. Slowly, though, it started to get clear, the translation, because obviously God doesn't speak English or Spanish. So I wrote down the translation. When my mind consolidated the information and let it all fall into place, I wrote down what it meant. It meant slay all the Muslim boys and all the Jewish girls and the Hindus too. Taoists and Buddhists are okay, and the Jain. Leave the Satanists and Luciferians alone. We all need some comic relief. But definitely slay all the pedos. So that'll be the end of the Vatican. Either that or do a hangout about how Jesus found you. So, given that he gave me the options, I thought I'd do the hangout because slaying, that doesn't sound like very much fun. That's be a real crazy person to go around slaying boys and girls. That's wrong. Okay, so Jesus found me. Why do I say Jesus found me? Well, in the story of Jesus is the shepherd. The shepherd doesn't just walk around with sheep following him and that's it. The shepherd looks after the sheep. If the sheep go missing, the shepherd goes looking for the sheep. In fact, there's a parable about working on the Sabbath where it's about, well, what if the sheep has fallen in the ditch? Do you leave it alone because it's a Sabbath or do you get it? So, all this, have you found Jesus yet? That's the same as going up to a sheep and saying, have you found the shepherd yet? Like, no, it's not the sheep's job to find the shepherd. It's the shepherd's job to find the sheep. And I think that Jesus found me. Kind of. Okay, so seriously now, a long time ago, I said to myself, okay, I think this Jesus stories are all just not true. In fact, I think all of the Bible is just false. All the faiths based on the Bible, I think they're all just wrong and false because they're based on stuff that's absolutely not true. Definitely not written by God and not written by divine inspiration through the hand of man. No, none of that. It's all a nonsense. And I said to myself, it's so difficult to like see the world as you would see it had you never been immersed in the world of Christianity. In the West, we're mainly immersed in the world of Christianity. I live in the West, always have done. And it's like, you can't really go about as if you've never been influenced by it. So I spend the next like 20 odd years thinking, no, any thoughts that I could link immediately to Christianity, going, no. And then obviously the Lord of the Rings, in those 20 years, the Lord of the Rings, I read it. It's like, oh, I like this story. This story about this old man who sacrifices himself, and this story about this king who kind of sacrifices himself too. Like, I didn't notice. Well, yeah, I thought, well, yeah, okay, using that meme from the Bible and Messiah and stuff. Yeah, very clever. But I still like Gandalf and Aragorn because of those qualities. I think the Bible is supposed to be about those qualities. And if you need to tell people it's a true person, you know, the dim-dims, so that they'll go along with it, then people say it's a true story. And if you're a bit more Gnostic and you say, no, 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 it's just a story about good qualities, how else are you going to have an icon you look up to? And I am an iconoclast, but how are you going to have an idol? What are you going to base the paradigm in which you want to be if you don't have any characteristics for that paradigm? How would you do that? Like, and I realize this is a bit serious, but if you think about it, okay, if you lived in a culture where the slightest disrespect was met with a slit throat, that culture would have lots of slit throats or no disrespect at all, but probably more slit throats, right? You have honor killings from cultures where honor killings like the honorable thing to do. And in the West, we have this forgiveness, patience, tolerance, trying to help the weak, trying to make things better in as peaceful a way as possible. And that's the story, that's the overall purpose of Christianity. Now, there's all the nonsense in the Christianity, but the overall qualities that most of all, even Del Beyond the Imaginary Curve and even Eric Dubay, we all have this, we'd like to help, or I would like to help to make people's life better, to help people see truth. What's that about? That's about Jesus. That's what the Christians say anyway. The Jews don't say, oh, that's about Muhammad at all. And the Muslims don't say, oh, that's about Abraham either. None of them. Which is why God instructed me to slay all the Muslim boys and all the Jewish girls. Because Islam is a pretty patriarchal religion, and Judaism is definitely matriarchal. Get rid of that, then all the Muslim, if you kill all the Muslim boys, there would only be like Muslim girls left, and then they will grow up to be Muslim young women, and there would only be, well, Jewish boys, because there'll be no more Jewish girls. And the Jewish boys like the Muslim women, I think, and the Muslim women, they like anyway, the point is, religion, as much as it was made as a divisive tool, there's still, through religion, there's still this kind of interesting phenomenon where no matter how coercive and manipulative it might have been intended to be, somehow, mysteriously, there are kind of good elements to it. And as much as I detest, literally detest religion, when I see somebody like Putin saying the West is being ruined by anti-Christian sentiments, I think, how are you thinking this? You're a bright guy. How are you thinking this? And then it's like, oh, wait. It's anti-Christian sentiments, not anti-Christian dogma. No, it's the overall Christian sentiments towards the world. Help the weak. Just try and make things better. And when I thought all of this, I realized, like, wait a second. I think I'm being coaxed down an avenue that I didn't even think was there. And then I looked behind me, and there was Jesus with his big staff going, go on, move. He found me. He found me. Or something like that. Anyway, so I just thought I'd do this hangout. Now I'm going to show a couple of things. I see the chat's gone very quiet. Right. Right, just a second. I'm back in the chat because I've seen a couple of people without wrenches. Hi to everyone in the chat. The whole point of this little thing is to say, look, forget Jesus, forget Christianity, forget Islam, forget Judaism, forget all of those things. If you look at the qualities that unify those good elements of those good religions, they're all the same. They're all what the Christians say is the foundation for Christianity, what the Muslims say is the foundation for Islam, and what the Jews say is the foundation for Judaism. If you're in the West, chances are, if you're going to find a way to that, is going to be through the Christian mentality, the good guy who does the right thing. And the same with the other two religions. And we're talking these because these are the most powerful. The Jain are powerful too, and the Hindus, we always kind of forget about the Hindus, which is why it was tacked on there, and the Hindus too. You know, slay the Muslim boys and the Jewish girls and the Hindus. They just make everything look stupid. They make it look like a joke. So this is my kind of olive branch to the Christians who don't understand how I could be not Christian. Because and I spoke about this with Orphan Red. It's like, I think if a being was to like take me up with a beam and present me in front of a thing that does a screening of people to determine what quality that person was, it would scan me and go, Christian. As much as I would say no, like, oh really? Do you like to help the weak? Do you like all of these things that I would have to say, oh, nabbit, I think I might be. So I'm being honest because that's what I am. So there you go. And as much as that might annoy some people who like the kind of anti-religion thing, it's true. If the reason that you don't like religion is because you think that religion's unfair, it maltreats people and all of those things, guess what? You're being a Christian. That's right. Flat Earth Vader, Earth Vader. I was hoping the police had found you. Not very funny, but it's not that bad. I was going to share something. Flat Earth Doctrine. I was watching Nathan talking about Earth curvature calculations. And before this, I mean, I looked for that purposely, and it was him covering it, because something has kind of just hit me. It must have come in that message, which was, how do you calculate the curvature for the Earth in centimeters and kilometers? I'm going to look in the chat. If there are any globelings there with wrenches or any flat earthers who know, please just explain quickly, how do you work out the curvature of the Earth using kilometers and centimeters? I've asked Andy, the Divine Plane, and Sergey. Oh, Mark 621000. Hello, lads from Prince Edward Island. Good heavens, that's an interesting place. You can have a wrench. Greetings, dude. By the way, I do have a kitten here, so if you hear sounds that appear to be not at all explainable, it's a cat, which could also explain the nightmare I had about God speaking to me, because the cat likes to sit on my chest with its face right in front of my mouth and nose so that I can just barely touch it well, so that it can just barely touch it. And it feels just like you had a spider there just touching you with one of its legs. Or, yeah, anybody who's had kittens or a kitten before will know this is what it's like when you're in bed and a kitten jumps on your bed. And I'll show you what it's like. Come on, come here. Loki, Loki. Hey, you little. Oh, it's gone off. Not playing with me. He'll come in a minute and sit right under my chair. It's tiny. It's 10 weeks old. When a cat jumps on your bed, it kind of walks around stealthily on your bed, and eventually wherever it settles, you're not sure if that's actually where it settled or it settled somewhere else. Like if it's behind your thigh, might also be like by your foot. That's not possible. It's really weird because it feels like you've got maybe 4 or 5 cats on your bed. And then when you feel, because it's hot and you haven't got your cover on you, you feel things randomly on your legs. It could be spiders and it's covering for spiders. I don't know. Anyway, back to the Earth curvature. So I'm looking for the Earth curvature calculations with centimeters. Looks like it's 8 centimeters per kilometer squared-ish. That's a bit of a weird coincidence. Let's work out the math on that. So, so if anybody knows, Chuck the Canuck. I've not had that, but doesn't sound very pleasant at all. But yeah, they do things like that. But no, this one's really gentle. He's a cool cat. Right, wait a second. Okay, Earth curvature calculations in centimeters and kilometers or meters, you know. Let's have a look at that, because it looks to me like what's happening is you do the calculation in inches, all the Earth curvature calculators do the calculation in inches, whatever the result is, it just translates that into meters. Like, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Because a very quick little ventures I've done into the world of mathematics using centimeters and kilometers gives very different results. But, you know, I might have done it wrong. So if there's anybody who knows how to do it, quickly write it in the chat. If not, if you're a globling, write it in this as a comment. Yeah. I'm looking in the chat. Oh, now he's fighting a cable. Here he is. it likes fighting. Come here. There he is. There, you can sit there. If you like. There you go. Let's see what. Oh, you got a fall. So there you go. There's the cat. So if you hear strange sounds, that's it. This Hangout on Air is live. Hangouts on Air going away August 1st. For quick streaming, try youtube.com webcam. Okay, will do. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, Earth curvature, not there. When you try to calculate it, you can use inches per mile. By the way, this is the reason the guys who made the sphere were English speakers. Okay. Copernicus, first Latin, okay, so, and then English speakers. It was English speakers who went to the moon, who bolted down all the details. It was English speakers, and it's the English-speaking world that says, no, all these flat earthers are just completely wrong. The Portuguese-speaking world, Chinese, Russian, the non-English speakers, it's like they don't have so much vested interest in it, and they go, no, well, I don't know, maybe. Daniel, what percentage level are you sure the world is flat? What percentage level? Okay, so first, flat as in not a sphere. Okay, we know there's like topography. Okay, but how much am I sure? 100% sure. And it's really simple. All you have to do is find a mechanical gyroscope that shows you what's going on. A nice, sophisticated mechanical gyroscope left on your desk over 6 hours should show what would appear to be precession, but its apparent drift of 90 degrees, no matter where you are, over a period of 6 hours. But it doesn't happen. And that's it. And if it did, if somebody showed it, lots of flat earthers would go, right, well, it's not flat then. Mechanical gyroscope, because we're talking mechanical motion. A fiber optic or a ring laser gyro, they're not talking mechanical motion. Light is not physical. When we're talking about physics and mechanical motion, we're talking of motion of physical materials. Bill Parky 5, you can have a wrench too. Good afternoon to you. So that's it. And it really is that. So you look at the world, you go, okay, so it's not a sphere. Oof. How does it work then? You start looking at how it works, and the conclusion is, okay, so however it works, it must be one where were you to walk around the equator and you had the north to your right and the south to your left, you'd be doing this, and all of the time you'd be seeing north there and south there, the stars of the south there and the stars of the north there, around the poles, celestial poles. What could present this kind of phenomenon in a way that would convincingly portray globe or sphere, despite being on a flat plane? What could do that? Well, magnetism could do that. If you're living, never mind, I'm not going to go into it too much because it's kind of complex, but people just have to do some thinking. And it's like, okay, so it's not a sphere. The guys who've been saying sphere, oof, they've been really struggling lately to continue to justify sphere. Then when you look at what they say, some of what they say is such cockamamie nonsense that they persuade people is not cockamamie nonsense. They persuade academia that it is brilliant thinking. Like, really, it's like, you know those little lights in the sky at night? Those little lights in the sky at night are very, very big. They only look small because they're very far away. But they're really, really far away. And yeah, that's what they are. Like, that idea was developed before any instrumentation to do any testing of anything. And the instrumentation to do testing of anything is terrestrial, and it's looking at the sky and it's checking what the sky is manifesting in the region where that light is. It's like, oh, the region where that light is receiving this information. A region just beyond that, where the light isn't, is not sending that, not manifesting that information. Oh, right. So whatever this information is, it must be the leftover information from that star out there. It's like, gosh, talk about post hoc arguments. Anyway, Cook's voyage around Antarctica verified the world is flat. S.J. Dawson, absolutely. Is that who I? Oh no. You can have a wrench too. Absolutely. And if any of you watched my last hangout, where I'm describing again the circumnavigation of Antarctica in modern days, the Globelings somehow refuse to actually plot it. And if they do plot it, they refuse to make videos about it, and they refuse to discuss it because it's such a problem for them. You can't have a racing yacht which is made to be fast under stormy conditions, which are under high-speed wind conditions. Stormy seas and high-speed winds go hand in hand. The racing yachts are designed to go very fast in those conditions. Somehow, 7 miles and 8 miles an hour. That's ridiculous. And if you actually see any footage, because there is footage out there, especially of the Catharsis 2, there's none of Kunyakov, of Alia Perusa and Fedor Kunyakov. There's no footage apart from the end of the race when he arrived at Hobart. Like, yay, you've done it. There's a couple of photos like, wow, that's going incredibly fast. But there's no video. But there is video of the Catharsis 2. Guess what the video of the Catharsis 2 is? Going like that, very fast. All of the video of Catharsis 2. Very, very fast. That's right. So it's like, oh, why is all the video of why is all of it going really, really fast? It's like, oh, no, wait. Here's some stills or some video of the Catharsis 2 stopped at an iceberg. It's like, that wasn't part of the race, though, was it? Because the race is non-stop. So you're not showing parts of the race. You're showing something altogether different. Or you see them stopped, and that's not part. The race is non-stop. Anyway, so the Globeans don't bother to do this. Oh, right. So Rude Earther, this is where weight is derived. Oh, right. Okay. I thought it was about the Earth curvature. So, folks, really try and look into Earth curvature calculations based on centimeters, where it's not just simply converting the results from the inches per mile squared into meters. Okay, just really see if you can find it. See if you can figure out how you do it. There's a kind of a common sense way that you think you do it, but you look into it, you go, oh, okay, it's not so common sense. Nick Dollinger, Anthony, a very long time listener, first time comment to me, just wanted to say keep up the great work and I hope all is well. Thank you very much, man. Yes, all is well. Apart from the police is looking for me, apparently, according to no police. And if I ever heard that the police was looking for me, which is a joke made from somebody who made a joke earlier, I wouldn't go to the police station and say, what the heck are you doing looking for me? You know? Anyway. What's going on in the world is mass distraction. This is important, Rude Earther. So, you know, when you have moments of calm contemplation, looking at the situation, it's easy to say, right, it's easy to conclude, this is a lost cause. You have globe earthers who are so damaged that they can't, you know, like when somebody tears a ligament over and over, they don't have flexibility in that ligament. Well, picture that ligament to be their brain, and it's been so torn and damaged and scarred so often that now they don't have the flexibility to think about the globe that they've had presented. Like really think, could they really send a Tesla Roadster into outer space and video it and show it with the glitches in the videos? They can't. There's something broken there. So you think, oh, it's a lost cause. Or sometimes I do. I think it's a lost cause. I think this would be better if it all went underground and just flat earthers just discuss things with each other, just quietly and slowly set up a framework of like suing institutions. Like what's his name, Zen Garcia, recently being sued for not giving some money away, and then the guy who sued him losing. FEG, logic is the key. It is, it really is. But unfortunately, with people, oh, this comes from Orphan Red. You can't reason. You can't reason with those who refuse to use reason. So I'm going to show this. Let me look at my screen so I can see what's actually going out. So take a snapshot of Earthers. Okay, so what's this? This is a thing. See there? It says thing. There's a thing. On top of this thing is a vehicle. See, it's a vehicle. with an astronaut sat in it. See, right? And this thing is like a Tesla Roadster. See, okay. And here's sunlight coming from this direction. Okay. Don't get kerfuddled saying, no, it was coming from the other direction. It's like, okay, turn it off. Just relax, dude. And here's Google Earth. Okay. Sunlight, car, Google Earth. Okay, see? Sunlight, car, Google Earth. You see how there isn't a big kind of parasol here hiding the Tesla Roadster from the sunlight so that the sunlight can not hit the Tesla Roadster and yet still go on to illuminate the entirety of the Earth? See how this parasol is not there in the whole concoction of the Tesla Roadster chucked at Mars? Well, then how could Google Earth be illuminated and this side of the car not? Not possible, like literally not possible. And I enter into discussions with my Globing friends where I had to explain to them, and these are guys who were at school with me, I had to explain to them what the word not possible means. So when you're faced with having to explain to people like, say, Simon Dan, what words like impossible mean, it gets to the point that it's a lost cause. So maybe better just keep it, start an underground. Oh, I just remember something. Start an underground thing, not a public thing, not a Facebook, no, nothing like that. And I just remembered something that I was discussing with Orphan Red, and I think it's true. And I'm going to say it right now. I think there's a flat Earth secret society. So that would be a secret society that is flat earthers. Secret society. Mark Sargent's not in it. Eric Dubay's not in it. Matt Powland isn't in it. None of the characters that you might think are in this flat Earth secret society, this secret society of flat earthers, which means good people who employ logic and reason and are powerful. Secret societies tend to be powerful, because if it's a secret society that's not powerful, it's like, yes. If you use logic and reason and you think about it, it's the only logical conclusion that there is a secret society that is good because they are flat earthers, and real flat earthers, not charlatan flat earthers. Like, we know lots of the charlatan flat earthers. Good, understand that this place is flat, understand that there's an overall supreme consciousness that other people call God and other people call Yahweh or Yahweh or Jehovah or Allah, which, by the way, first time I saw the word Allah written, I thought I was reading the word Alan, because, yeah, anyway. Wouldn't that be funny if God's real name was Alan? Anyway, yes, think about it. It's the logical conclusion. It's a logical conclusion that there must be, or that there is, a secret society of flat earthers, and none of the people, none of the Mark Sargents of the world, or even the Eric Dubays or the Dells, none of the channels that you think, none of the channels that I could name, none of them are in it. That's right. You know how with the Illuminati, people say, oh, the Rothschilds, Illuminati. It's like, well, no, because Illuminati is secret. Not, if you can say the names of them, then they're not in it. They're just puppets used. Well, yeah, so there you go. That's what I think under Sasha. Now I'm looking in the chat. Kind of totally lost my thread with what I was going to say. P. Murray, Level Earth, writes, can you have a look at my time-lapse vid I just posted and see what you think? It goes across the sky downwards. ISS, aeroplane lights. I will. I'll take a look right now. Give me a second. I'm waiting for the thing to open. Better be a good one. Run Thorson, don't delete comments. You know, make a comment, leave it. Don't bother deleting it. Rud James, you have said secret a lot. I have. Think about it. Do we all know about this secret society? Now, this is a fallacy, but I'm going to play along with. Do we all know? We're all flat earthers. Do we all know about this secret flat earth society? No, we don't, do we? No, why not? Because it's secret, that's why. Oh, right, you didn't mean now. Okay, so, well, it's taking forever to open. In fact, it's not open. Oh, wait, has it? Oh, Oh, okay. So apparently, this facility with YouTube and live streaming is going away, but there's a different facility that you can stream through YouTube, which is called webcam streaming. Oh, okay. So it's like Google streaming, but Google is separating itself from YouTube, is it? Because of like the lawsuits that are looming. Oh, okay. I get it. Let me see. Okay, I'm taking a look now. Level Earth. Peter Murray, Level Earth. Yeah, very interesting. What is it? It's one of those. What is it? UFO. Like, if it's flying, then if we can't identify it, that's what a UFO is. Flattening off. The idea is to not have a library of live streams. Oh, is that how it goes? So you'll be able to live stream, but then it won't stay pinned on your channel. Wow, that's going to be interesting. Fractal escape. Of course, there is a secret society of flat earthers. They're called the Illuminati, and they don't like being exposed. So now you know, if my channel disappears for no good reason with no announcement, no, I'm not going to do that because it's not fair. Okay, so that's it. What I mainly wanted to say is this thing about, because I've done a lot of videos, several at least, against Christianity, also against the other religions, but mainly against Christianity because that's the one I'm surrounded by. And then it just hit me the other day, and it's so simple. It's like, okay, forget all, and this is the part of the, that's a bit wrong. Forget all the things done wrong by Christianity. Let's pretend they're not real. Like, no, look at all the ideas it has put in the minds of individuals, like that you should stand up for what's right, that you should try to point out the truth, like, that's not a woman. Whatever it is, those ideals that are set, that all those ideals that are set that give us a sense of what we should do, aka a moral compass, They're Christian. And I've been saying, forget Jesus and Christianity and all that stuff. I'll do stuff from the Lord of the Rings. Yeah. But it's the same ideas. And this is what the Gnostics used to say. They would say, God couldn't make itself into a human being and walk around and get killed to purify all the sins that he said you shouldn't do. You shouldn't kill people. You shouldn't lie. You shouldn't do any of those things. But if you do, I'll forgive you. Like, that doesn't make, no, that's just silly. And that's what the Gnostics used to say. So what happened to them? Killed. That's what. So Alison Welch writes, two groups who killed Jesus, Satan's army, Pharisees and Romans. Unless it was the Uruk-hai. It could have been the Uruk-hai who killed Jesus. Like, really, it could. Because the Uruk-hai are just a fiction of the imagination, and the Pharisees and Romans killing God is also a fiction of the imagination. A lot of understanding here, friends. Cult of Baal poster, check it out. Mark 62100. Yeah, so when you look at really intelligent flat earthers and they're Christian, to me, it's just like this. Dude, how do you not see this? Like, really? But then you think, right, well, what are they really doing? They're exposing lies and pointing to the truth, and then sometimes pointing to stuff that's definitely not true. I think don't point to the stuff that's definitely not true. Just point to the stuff that is. Like the Jesus stuff, definitely not true. Go that way. Go to the stuff that is true. So I wanted to do this hangout and mock it a little bit, saying, Jesus found me. You know, because people have you found Jesus? Like, hey, it's not my job to find Jesus. It's Jesus' job to find me, bitch. That's what a shepherd does. Remember the bit about the good shepherd and Jesus being the shepherd? It's a shepherd's job to find the sheep, not the sheep's job to find the shepherd. See, it's kind of simple. Jesus stuff is true. No, it isn't, Alison Welch. It really isn't true. It's definitely not true. Like 100% not true. And if you persist with Jesus stuff is true, I'm going to say, well, the Aragorn stuff and Gandalf stuff is more true. I'm going to say it. Yep, the sheep is hiding. Doesn't matter. Still, Gandalf's job to find them. Anyway, so that's it. I'm roasting now because the weather's changed. I'm wearing this red hoodie, so I'm going to quit. Feel free to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. I'm saying this because I'm learning from other channels. Hey, give a thumbs up and then ratings and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, think about it, folks. Okay. If God spoke to you, you think it would be in English? ¿Y si sois españoles, pensáis que lo haría en español? Do you really think that God will speak to you in your language? Oh, here's another interesting little fact. If God made the sun, you know, like on the second or third day, whenever it made the sun, why did it make it so that human beings need hats? Why did that happen? Why is it that dogs and horses and cows and pigs and cats and orangutans, gorillas, chimpanzees, even crocodiles and sharks, how come none of those creatures ever need braces for their teeth? How come humans are the only ones that whose DNA got their teeth part wrong? So how is it that God made a sun that burns human beings so the human beings have to wear hats, but all of the other creatures don't have to wear hats? You don't see elephants grabbing branches from the trees with their trunk and holding it over their heads. Why is that? Maybe because that didn't happen. Maybe because that's not true. And also, why did God decide to make humans so that some of them would need braces or have teeth that go all over the place? Doesn't sound like a very well thought out thing, does it? For a guy who sits there, or a thing that sits there thinking things out. Maybe that's not what's going on. And when you learn what really is going on, you go, well, that was simple. Gosh, there was all of this embellishment, and the truth was just dead simple, like the sun. Dead simple. Anyway, what? Somebody's writing something. Oh, what up, Docs? Flat Earth Subgenius Society. Long time, dude. How are you doing? You go back to the start of this, you'll like it. You will especially like it. Subgenius. Yeah. Cruel scientists tend to this by blocking animals from breathing through the nose. All ended up being deformed teeth. Good Lord. Okay, but really, why does that happen? Why would God make a sun that's not friendly to humans? Like, really, the sun is really only friendly to the Negro race around the Congo. The Negro race away from the Congo, they suffer. They suffer cold and lack of vitamin D. And red-haired people, blonde, Caucasians, the Chinese, we know one of the most characteristic symbols of the Chinese in the rice paddies, which is such a stereotype, is with the big brimmed hats. Why would God make a sun for which people need hats? That doesn't make much sense. Ooh. Flat Earth Subgenius Society writes, I was in the presence of a $30,000 book today, first edition Shakespeare. Ooh. Rude Earther writes, why would a loving God allow so much physical and emotional corruption in this world? Exactly. In his world, sorry, correction. In his world. Why? Because that's not, because God isn't the arbiter of things that people think it is. Autograph 2, Flat Earth Subgenius Society. Autograph 2. Apparently Francis Bacon signed it under the name Shakespeare too. Sir Francis Bacon fake signing Shakespeare to a book. West Coast Wisdom. Goddess called Brian. Do you know, so I watched some John Cleese lately. I thought, if they released, just imagine, everybody who's familiar with The Life of Brian, just imagine if they tried releasing The Life of Brian now. Just imagine what would happen. Because when they did try to release it in the 70s, it was banned in some places. Now imagine the chaos there would be. Because one of the characters in The Life of Brian, a guy called Stan, wants to be a woman called Loretta. That's interesting. That's a bit of foresight from the Python crew. Just wow. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm going. I want a coffee and I want to chill and I want to do things. So I hope you enjoyed this hangout. Think about it. If you didn't see the start, see the start, because it was worthy of an Oscar, maybe, if I was an actor. And there are flat earthers out there who lie all the time and who say things like, oh, Antonio, he's an actor. Anybody whose work I don't fully understand, they're an actor. It's like, oh, okay, is that how it is? Yeah, everybody's an actor. Do you mean an actor like Shakespeare? All the world's a stage and we're merely actors on it? Or do you mean, no, it's a paid agent actor? Oh, okay. Maybe hang out with Dan Winfield, you know, so that you don't get polluted by me, and ask him, because he's been to my house, been for curries with me. Came for a curry with me and Orphan Red. Maybe ask there. Ian Leahy, there you are. You've nearly missed it. You can have a wrench. Yeah, so when you have flat earthers saying that other flat earthers, well, wait, when you have people who pretend that they're flat earthers, but their main job is to say that other flat earthers are agents and shills and actors, like, I see a distraction technique going on here. Really. But then, of course, if you do come across information that somebody really is an agent, like Nora No One, or No One's Flower, or Steer, or Sergeant, and you don't point it out, Jeranism, if you don't point it out, but you know, then maybe your pursuit of truth is not as pure as you thought. Maybe you're thinking strategically. That's not the best thing for truth. Just immediate. That's the truth. Then you've alienated the Christian and black audiences today, says Angus Evans. Why would the black audience be alienated? They know that what I'm saying is true. They know. It's like, hey, the sun, perfectly fine for us when we're around the equator. Gorgeous, beautiful. In the north, crappy. And the Christians, I don't think so. I've said in this hangout that Jesus found me jestingly, but then I go to explain in a not jesting way that, no, actually, it's like the fundamental values of Christianity, which formed me, and I've been seeing those values in Aragorn and Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings and Samwise, and even the flaws of Frodo. Those values are in Christianity too. And if you look at the meetings between the Shia Muslims and the Orthodox Jew rabbis, the meetings that they have, where it's like, yeah, we all want the same thing. How is it that where the highest population of Jews is in the world is, other than Israel, concentration, is Iran? How's that? And they're perfectly fine and happy. How come there are so many Christians, 26%, in Kazakhstan? How come there are so many Christians in a majority Muslim country like Kazakhstan and they're perfectly happy? It's because those people are not xenoskeptic. It's because those people working by the Gnostic principles of their individual religions. That's what it is. That's what it is. So if you think that I've alienated the Christians, then they're not Christians. They're not. Because Christians should be looking for friends in people who share similar attitudes. That's right. Same for the Jews, same for the Muslims. Fundamental to their religions. They should be aligning themselves and finding friends in those who have similar attitudes to the world, including the defense of the weak and the exposure of truth and the quashing of corruption, all of those things. That's right. Right, that's it, guys. I'm going because I'm getting really distracted. I'm going to go back and watch this from the beginning and read the chat. Right, guys, thank you very much for hanging out. 1st of August will be the last one of these, but I don't know how the new ones will go. Don't know. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this. Please share, thumb up, like, dislike, whatever. Oh, somebody else is coming in. Wait, Jason McCormack, happy concave week, everyone. What you're talking about concave? If the Earth was concave, the same thing that would show that the Earth was a sphere would, well, show that it was concave. You know, like mechanical gyroscopes, but it doesn't. Like mechanical gyroscopes don't show that the Earth is concave. You have to deal with that, just like the Globians have to deal with it. Sorry, dude. Right, that's it, guys. I'm going because otherwise just keep getting sidetracked. Bye.